What's up, party people? Chris from Crashbox here. Taking a look at this project we just finished. It is a space hallway, kind of. It is for a customer who is going to display his Dead Space video game figures in a IKEA Detolf shelf. So this one did have to be modified a bit to get into those dimensions. The figures, I believe, are 7-inch figures, so the door is scaled up for that, as well as just the overall dimensions of the walls had to be changed to the very strict format you have to go to fill a Detolf up. So let's take a look real quick at what we got going on. So this door design in the back, I had originally done a prototype to just see how it worked out, and it looked pretty good. I showed it to my client and he liked that design. I was a little bit more like the artwork for Dead Space that he had provided me. So the other panels are the similar panels to what I've done before on the space hallways, and we'll look at these individually in a minute. But you know, they're just gored up to pieces. The floor is the same style floor that I've been using as well, and it's got this nasty smear drag mark down the middle with these leftover bones coated in blood. So let me talk a little bit about how everything is made here. And for that, we'll go ahead and take the panels apart. So let's look at the floor first. All these panels were cut out with my X-Carve 750 from Inventables and finished with various techniques we will talk about now. So the entire piece is magnetized. This floor has 6 magnets in it total. It's finished on all sides because it's going in a Detolf. I finish all my stuff on all sides. I know not everybody does, to each his own, but I like to present a product to my customer that looks like a complete item. So I always make sure I paint everything. So the base coat of the paint on all of this stuff is black. A black base coat everything. I had to do a pretty heavy wash to get into the holes here to make sure nothing was showing through there. After that, I used apple barrel gray. I think it's pewter gray is the color, as a base of the gray on the whole panel, on everything. After that is a variety of several things. I covered some of this in the last space hallway video. Used a couple different brown washes and translucents to kind of get that worn, streaked appearance. And then at the end, I went back with some black just for some highlights. So this particular panel has these grooves cut in it. And I used it's a scrapbooking tape. I actually have it here. I think it might be called washi tape. I picked this up, I don't know, Walmart, Michael's, Home Depot, one of those places. And that's what I've been using on all these for these floor lines. It sticks pretty well, especially after you put some sealer on it. And it does the job. It gives the effect really well. So after all the effects are on the panel, I gored it up. So as you can see, there's a big blood streak down the middle. That was a mixture of red apple barrel paint, which I believe it was the Tuscan red that I ended up going with. This one here, and I added in. Let me back up. I wasn't really familiar with doing this level of gore on a project. I'd done blood smears and blood spatter, whichever, before. So I reached out to my guy Megatron up in Canada. Shout out to Megatron. He's been a lot of help to me over the years, whether he knew it or not. And he does a lot of the gory stuff. And I asked him what was the trick to get this level of disgustingness. So he told me a recipe, and it was soak some cat litter in your paint, and then add some dryer lint. Yeah, so that's what this mess is. So you can see on this panel here, there's blood splatters, there's the smear. And after I sealed the panels, I went back over it with a gloss Mod Podge to kind of give it that sheen, that shiny effect. And the little yellow on the outside is something else Megatron recommended to do to kind of give it that bile dragging. So all in all, I think it came out really good. There's that one panel on the floor. So the door piece, my client didn't want it completely gored on the bottom. He wanted it like the drag mark led under the door. So that's what we ended up doing on this one. And it's just got the paint smears, splatters, a big one up here, and you can see little bits of stuff, you know, smeared all over it. Once again, hit it with that gloss Mod Podge to really make it kind of stand out in the light. This thing looks like $1 million under the Detolf lights as well, and I'll show that at the end. A couple interesting things here. This is magnetized as well, obviously. These bits here are Lego. Shout out to my guy Bricks on the Dollar, my little Lego supplier there in Warminster, PA. Check him out if you ever need any Lego bits. He's got what you need. So this is actually a hose, a 1x6, and then a flat top 4. I hope I said that right in Lego lingo. I could be wrong, but here we are. So yeah, I thought about putting some hoses on here, and I just thought that would be a really cool accent to add those on there. And this, of course, up here at the top, the screen. Let me get a little closer. This is done with the sewing mesh that I've discussed before. So there's the back. And the side panels are pretty gored up too. Here's one of the sides here. You have this really nice pile of I don't know what this is, but it's a pile of gore just kind of hanging out on that shelf. One of those things where it got slung up there and nothing else got slung up there, and there it is. But you can see it's dripping down the end. He wanted nerve center written on the wall there, so we stenciled that out for him. I use a cry-cut machine to make my stencils for all my projects. So that's how I'm getting the stencils put on. This piece of material here is a wreath kit, I guess. It's this material. It's kind of a hollow rope that you make wreaths with for holidays. You know, they'll have green and they'll have red at Christmas time. At Halloween time, they have black and purple and orange. So I picked this up a couple years ago, and it's been almost a lifetime supply. I've used it several times. But that's that, and of course the Legos again on the side there, and a couple vents and just accent lines and whatnot we've added on here. I did use a smaller bit on the X-Carve machine to get some finer details out than what I have been doing in the past. So the other panel is real similar to the first one. We've just got the gore there in the middle. Once again, the gloss Mod Podge really makes this pop. I can really see it as I'm moving around the light. Use the sewing mesh again in that panel. And then up here at the top, we've got a couple more Lego accents and that same tubing I was talking about. And then a great big vent on the end. Let's put it back together and do some comparisons with some figures for size. So here we are reassembled. I did not mention these bits here, the bloody body parts, the bones with and this is that red paint with a gloss Mod Podge on them. So we've got a leg, we've got a pelvis and spine, and we've got a arm. Where are we at? There we are. We got an arm and hand right there, and what that is something else I've randomly picked up. So it's one of these happy little skeleton guys. These are available most of the time around Halloween. Walmart had them this year, and they come on a garland strand. They're roughly 12 scale, so they work good for stuff like this. They had these like 75% off 2 days after Halloween, so I have a lot of these skeletons. So it was just easy to tear one apart and get harvest the bones, I suppose, out of it. So let's do some figure sizing real quick, just so you can see. Up first, we're going to do Constable Zuvio, probably the most important character in the entire Star Wars universe. Up next, let's do a Star Wars figure. It's a Black Series Han Solo with custom painted head from my guy Sam M. And here comes a Kamen Rider, SH Figuarts. So as you can see, it's very large scaled for these guys. Although, you know, a door could be as big as you wanted it to be, right? So, you know, these guys could still work in this space. Here's Mezco cap. And finally, here is Ryu from Storm. And let me see, I think I can get him right here in the back. I'm surprised his foot didn't fall off and just become fodder. So, yeah, I guess him in the back would be closer to the scale of these figures, but I think overall it's a pretty decent scale. I do have one more comparison I do want to show real quick. Now, I don't have any of the Dead Space figures, but I just thought this was fitting to go in here. A good old Xenomorph just hanging out in this space hallway. So there you go. Thanks for taking a look. Make sure to give us a subscribe on our channel here on YouTube. Give us a like on this video. Share it if you enjoy it. We're new here. We're trying to grow. Make sure you also follow us on all our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And our website is crashboxcustoms.com. Catch you later.